Welcome back, everybody. Kenny Smyson here. I do put out Starfield content every week, from the Starfield Report podcast to ship build videos like you're going to see here. And my favorite playlist is my Habs showroom playlist, which I go through every Hab in the game. From the recent double-decker ones, I do a full interior tour of those and just discuss and look at what we got inside those. So be sure to hit those playlists up. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And so let's go ahead and get into this ship build video for you guys. Well, this ship was a long time in coming for me. I did build it just before the Freelanes Terran Armada stuff came out, so it doesn't have any of the staircases, double deckers in there. Although I don't know if I would have really been able to make it work, possibly in the back there, as you'll see as we get into it. But with my space trucker, I had wanted to build a massive cargo ship looking like a modern cargo vessel, right? The huge kind of bridge towering up on the back was just the general concept I had. Although I don't try to hold myself too strictly to those. I just like to use that as a general inspiration for a basic design, and then just kind of have fun with it and see how the ship kind of evolves throughout the build process. In this case, originally I was going to have just a ton of cargo containers all over it, but just the thought occurred to me as I was going through, it'd be awesome to have like a huge amount of fuel tanks, because he's not only delivering supplies, but he's also delivering huge amounts of fuel out there to deep space space stations like the Clinic or the Star Yard, Star Eklund Star Yard. Of course, ships or places like that are going to need a lot of fuel and a lot of supplies. So definitely enjoyed this. We're going to look at a cross section of it. Then of course I'll do the interior tour like normal. So here's a bit of a cross section for you. Not a lot to the ship structurally once you kind of take it apart. There's a lot of these bracers internally, as you can see. Down below I do have that 2x2 cargo hull where the bay goes straight into that with a couple of the Graf Hab 1x1s there alongside of it. And because of these tanks being hanging from it like that, it ends up just being almost like a single deck ship right there. But it makes it look a lot bigger than it is when you have all those tanks there. So as far as the actual Hab space in it, it's not as much as you would think. Of course, all the engines and the reactor and whatnot on the back. Got crew quarters, whatnot up in this section. Let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and drop this living quarters. This is like the passenger Hab. It's kind of all by itself. You have to go up 2 ladders to get into here. Got your mess hall. And then this is where the captain's quarters level is here, plus a ready room and a gym, as well as the armory, which you have to go through that armory to get up to the battle stations. Okay. Now back here, this is the bridge section as we come up. We've got the battle stations proper here with a living quarters there, like a break room. I did clip these cowlings down into this bridge. Now when you're inside of it, you don't even notice it really. The way those lines are, it just looks like a solid wall. It ends up hiding all the computer consoles that are like along this wall here, and just all the lights and the buttons. So you don't even really notice it when you're just looking around the room. Now you can step right through it and clip through it, and then you're kind of in between. It's a very narrow gap between. There's I think a railing right there, and then there's the solid wall, of course, of the bridge itself. And I can't actually snap this on the rest of it because those supernova engines, they do slightly stick up into that cowling right there on the back, so I can't actually snap this down onto it, but obviously that's how it goes. And here we are in the 2x2 cargo hull right on the back of it here. We got the bathroom on the right there, love that. And over here we've got our workshop, little Graf Hab 1x1, perfect. It's got your weapons, industrial, spacesuit, even a bed for your little 10% XP boost, and of course a 1x1 infirmary with 2 beds, and plenty spacious in here. You're so used to the 2x1s, and 1x1s are actually a lot bigger than you would think. So heading on up in here, we are in the idea with this is for the passengers, the living quarters. He's got a couple beds back there, and galley, everything passengers, guests would need to feel comfortable as they travel with you. Heading up in here to the mess hall. Having the ladders on either side here knocked out the tables that were there, which actually worked out in my favor because I'd rather have my own table set up. So got a nice antique wood table setting up there.
This break has given me a lot of time to read.
And this one has the dockers on the left over there, left side of the ship. Yep, you can see it right there above that fuel tank. So, like the placement of that.
Do you need a teacup?
And this is where we get into a lot of the 1x1s that are quite wacky. So, good stuff here. I had to use some of these hallways here to prevent some weird stuff going on with the doors. But once you get up in here, this is same thing on either side of the ship. There's a 1x1 engineering bay or hab with a 1x1 6-bed all-in-one berth. So there would be a bed there at that door and that window, but you still have 4 beds and of course a bathroom. And the idea of these habs is on either side of the ship is, yep, this is where you're going to just sleep. That's why you're here. You know, all the crew quarters and stuff is elsewhere. Captain's quarters directly above them. Now what I did here was I used the living quarters. That you had a couple different living quarters. I chose this one here, so this is kind of like the lounge for my captain's quarters of sorts, right? This whole floor is kind of like my captain's quarters, right? Got everything in that section for just kicking back, and then across the way here, I'm gonna head into the bedroom area, and this window is right up on the front of the ship, as you can see right there, dead center, right above the comm spike. You can see the comm spike right there. And I like how he has the bathrooms, even though on all the vanilla Nova Galactic cabs, right? When you place a door or window on the front or back where there's a bathroom, you lose the bathroom. But thankfully, Graf thought of that, and we don't lose our bathroom just because we have a door or window right there. Let's see. We'll go ahead and head up here. This is just a ready room, which kind of ends up being more like a locker room because I have the gym in the back here. So, gym's got some weights and whatnot. Can't remember what I lost with that door. I know I lost something, but got your weight set and ping pong table, punching bag. Good to stay in shape when you're out there in space, you know. Got your lockers and stuff. Now we're going to head up into the command structure of the ship. But by doing so, you go through the Nova Galactic Armory. And on up here into the battle stations. And I've got a window on the far side over there, which you can see when you're looking at the edge of it here. It's right there on the front. And then I placed the living quarters over here and put the window up there. And doing so, that got rid of the bed. So that turns this into more like kind of like a break room, but not so much a place where people are going to go necessarily sleep. They can head downstairs or up to their crew area if they need to do that. And on up here, we're going to head into the bridge. So I really like how this ship churned out, but I still prefer my barge, the previous ship. That's my favorite Class C ship in the game I've made so far. So, all right, folks, take care. I will see you in the Starfield.